Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ramblin Deano's Coffee and a Song on a beautiful Tuesday summer afternoon. It's sunny outside. I thought I'd pose in front of my fish tank, which contains gigantic fish, apparently. I haven't been able to figure out how to make any of those images smaller that go in my window here, but okay. Trish is saying my sound is nice. I have done a little of my continual tweaking. I'm a tweaker, as they say. Hey, I hope you're all doing great this morning. I'm a little tired myself. I overslept, so I was scrambling to get this show together. I woke up at about 8 o'clock this morning, so with no idea what I was going to do, and so really kind of hustled to get through this one. Reason being, I was up till about midnight last night packing Waco Brothers t-shirt orders, so I'm going to take the bulk of those to the post office right after I'm done doing my show here, and get the rest of them packed up and shipped out this afternoon, hopefully, when I'm done with my day job at my dad's. So that's that. T-shirts. Jay says, I hope you've checked your sump pump. Yeah, we did get some heavy rain last night, and so I think these guys came all the way up from the Caribbean. Hey, I'm going to continue my week's journey through the songs that I wrote for Ice Cold Singles. And when Ice Cold Singles first formed, we had a different name, which was Deano and the Pervs. And Pervs meaning being P-U-R-V-S, like short for the meat purveyors. And it was just kind of a funny name that I thought would let people know that the meat purveyors were involved. We wisely eventually reconsidered that name, but it did last that way for a long time, a number of years. And we did digitally release the songs that I'm going to play for you today on through CD Baby. And I think I went back there recently, and I think they've finally pulled these down from their site after about 10 years or something. So I probably should get something together to formally re-release these songs and others that we did in our almost purely acoustic era on my website. But let's see. I'm going to start with one called Safe Passage, and the first two I'm going to do are kind of probably my attempt at kind of dipping my toe into the water of kind of complex relationship songs without actually writing literal love songs or out of love songs. I guess I was a little uncomfortable with that, and I think it's a little bit more complex than that in general. So this, I guess, just kind of is kind of a someone telling another person that as difficult as I and we have been in the past, you always have a place here. Safe Passage. You can sleep on my floor anytime you come to town. I promise you safe passage. I'm keeping my mouth shut now. Things don't change much in the valley. We eat and drink just like we did before. You've already lost a fortune. Ask yourself, why pay more? And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I'll make it through till payday. It must have been so crazy in your corner of the world. I guarantee a soft landing. I'm not so hopeless anymore. The sun sets on the hollow a little sooner than it does on the crest. You and I are nocturnal, but hey, it pays the rent. And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I'll make it through till payday. And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I'll make it through till payday. Safe Passage, originally released by Deano and the Pervs, the predecessor to Ice Cold Singles. So the concept behind Deano and the Pervs was actually kind of inspired by a number of external factors. I had tried to do some touring with my band Dollar Store, and this was at a time when gas prices were ridiculous. They were approaching $400 a gallon, $4 a gallon. And Tex, our guitar player, had this gas-eaten van that we would throw all of our heavy equipment in and attempt to do these weekend tours. And so, we'd get a gig in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I would think it was a good paying gig for us. There was far less interest in Dollar Store than there was in the Waco Brothers. So it was like, yeah, $500, that's solid, kind of thing. And we would spend $300 on gas getting there and back. And by the time you had that and hotels and food, we made absolutely no money whatsoever. The idea the idea with Deano and the Pervs initially was like, hey, if it's just me playing electric guitar through a little amp and Bill playing acoustic guitar and Pete playing mandolin and Joe singing with me, that we could actually do kind of touring stuff in an economy car and throw all of that in the trunk and not be subject to these horrible tour expenses. Well, we did a little bit of that, but we never really did much of it. So eventually that idea went out the window, and Ice Cold Singles became a full band with a drummer and bass player, and then eventually Tamanay on fiddle. So we're a 7-piece band that'll almost never play outside of Austin ever. So unless somebody's got some really good money to pay us. Hey, all right. So let's move on to the next one. This one has been recorded by. Actually, this is kind of a pre-Ice Cold Singles recording too. That I believe I do have on my website, but I'm not going to say for sure because our pal Neil proved me wrong on one of the songs I claimed was on our record the other day. I'm notoriously bad about knowing what songs of mine are on what records. I don't know the Waco Brothers discography at all. I can't tell you what song was released when and came on what record. But this is called Rear View, and I think it's on my site. If you want to go listen to it. Features some lovely harmonies by my now wife, Jo Walston, who sang both high harmony and a higher harmony above me on the chorus on this. But I'm going to play a little strummy version of what's kind of a little bit more of a rocker on the album. Rear View. Everything looks better through the glass. Everything looks better once it's past. The heart of you, the heart of you in the rear view. Spell it out for me or I won't see. That means too much to me. The heart of you, the heart of you, just passing through. I know you're trying to get to someplace warmer. I know you're trying to make it to the Garden States. But there are no judges and there are no scores here. You don't have to leave, you don't have to wait. Everything looks better through the glass. Everything looks better once it's past. The heart of you, the heart of you in the rear view. Thank you, Neil, for confirming that that this has in fact been released on my site. At least there is no CD or vinyl of this, but there are digital files for you to download and enjoy. I'm not sure whether I ever got Bad Luck Days put up on the streaming services or not. Sometimes I get a little lazy about that because let's just say it's not exactly a source of income. So a funny thing there that I experience over and over again on this show is that I really need to try and train myself to not look at the comments coming in as I'm playing the song, because invariably it causes me to screw something up in the song as I'm trying to think of lyrics and read something at the same time. So the brain is an amazing thing, though. You know, I mean, it's been many years now since I discovered that with the Waco Brothers, if we're playing White Lightning, for example, I've played it so many times that there was a time that we were playing somewhere that had a game that I was interested in that was on one of the TVs in the bar. And I'm at this point I'm able to play and sing White Lightning while watching a game on TV and thinking about what I want on my pizza later. Or it's that ingrained in my subconscious, or whatever lobe of my brain is responsible for playing White Lightning can do it and allow me to do all sorts of other activities too. It's like I can have 3 or 4 windows open while I'm playing White Lightning. All right, I got one more for you, and this one's pretty straightforward, and it was also on one of those early Pervs recordings, and I may write a third verse for, or a middle 8 or something, and include it on this planned honky tonk record I'm going to do, because it is definitely a straightforward classic country song about something I know pretty well. It's called Bottle of Wine. For those of you who might not be aware of this, I worked in the wine business for about 30 years until very recently. Thinking about going back, maybe just one day a week working at a retailer, just to keep the resume consistent, and because I miss it a bit. I miss talking to customers about wine and whatnot. Don't miss carrying it around, though. My sciatica is much better. Bottle of wine. This addresses that too. In the very first verse. Bottle of wine, you broke my back, and you broke my mind. I'll give you 3 good reasons why I can't stay. 3 good reasons, red, white, and rosé. I'm not responsible for the things I might say. I love you, bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, pumps through my heart, into my mind. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Pull up a glass, sit for a while. Next thing you know, I got a warm glow. I love you, bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, 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 Yes, you've experienced the rare and fantastic live fade out. Not many musicians can pull that off. I happen to be in that rarefied air. Hey, thank you for joining me today on Coffee and a Song for more Ice Cold Singles tunes. I'll be back tomorrow with some more, who knows what. I really appreciate you joining me here. And once again, to all you folks who ordered t-shirts, most of them are going out today. I did run into some delays with the vendor. I only received the ladies' tees yesterday afternoon, so I was not able to get ladies' tee orders and multiple orders packed up yesterday, but I got all the single orders of men's tees done and ready to go out, and this afternoon I'll get the rest of them. Thank you again for making my mornings wonderful each day, and I hope to see you all tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that. As always, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, stay home if you can, and I love you, and we'll meet again tomorrow morning. Have a great day.